Welcome to Hotbox the Podcast. I'm your host, Dot. I'm sitting with a lovely guest. What's your name again?
I'm Sydney.
Sydney. I'm sitting with Sydney, and today we're going to talk about...
The occult.
The occult.
The umbrella term
for
all things dark and mysterious that we don't quite understand.
That's the perfect way to put it. That's how I would put it. And because I don't know much about it and I've been intrigued, I want to hear about it. So, Sydney... Where would one start? Oh, I'm sorry, my God. You know what, guys? I'm tripping. I've been smoking this shit. At this time, what we do here, Sydney, is we take universal smoke breaks. That's what we do. So
we're doing it right now.
Yeah, she said, "Fuck it, we just smoke."
I brought my own pipe, social distancing.
Yeah, exactly. Germs. We're doing it the right fucking way.
Yeah.
So at this time,
respecting the social distancing.
Everybody, grab your bongs, grab your pipes, grab your yoga mats, grab your N95s, grab your hand sanitizer, grab your Reese's, grab your popcorn, settle in. We're going to get into depth and some real shit. My soul recognizes yours. Namaste. Oh, I'm sorry, no bong song to guy. Today, guys, I have a blunt because this is a special episode and I wanted to roll one especially for this episode. So, Sydney, the occult. We're going to jump right into it. How would you explain to a layman what the occult is?
Well, like I said, it's an umbrella term for all things dark and mysterious that we don't quite understand. So I would say that the occult could be, conspiracies. It could be magic, religious niches. It could even be, cults that believe, whatever the cults are believing.
Right.
I'm not in any cults, so.
Okay, cool.
I do know. But the occult and cults, they go together. Usually, there's some sort of connotation.
What you say it's an umbrella term? Where would you fall under that umbrella with your experience with the occult?
I would say I am not a skeptic in that, but I am a believer in science. Mm-hmm. So I believe in science and reason and logic, and I also believe that there's some things that just can't be explained. I believe that as humans, we all kind of have a power within us, and we have parts of our brains that can, do things that we've never even imagined possible, and that just can't really be explained by science other than that we're just, hunks of fat operating meat suits powered by electricity.
Wait, constant...
And that's how all that weird frequencies and stuff happen.
Right. So earlier we were talking about your childhood.
Yeah.
And
I grew up here in Tehachapi. It's a small town, and back then it was smaller in the 90s. And before then it was even smaller, as a lot of people would say. But a lot of people weren't very open-minded when I was a kid towards my mom and our family and our religious paths. I went down religiously. I'd say I fall on a Wiccan kind of spectrum. I believe in the earth and
what. God, let's explain Wiccan.
Wiccan, I would say, is believing there is. I'd say that I believe that the earth is my mother, and that I worship the elements.
Okay.
So earth, air, fire, water, and I wouldn't say necessarily worship, but they are a oneness with me and myself and everyone else and everything that is interspersed.
Okay.
I'm a little lit.
No worries. You know what? You know how we do it, guys. The Hotbox is a place where you can be yourself and lit as you want to be.
Okay. Know I'm a little lit.
Then we're doing the Hotbox the right way. Welcome to the Hotbox.
All right.
I want you to know, too, guys, my blunt is still going. You know what? I think I rolled a dope-ass blunt. It's going to keep going to the whole show. And I'm really excited about it. Because I used to...
I want to hit it, but, how do you hit it, without touching it?
You know what we can do?
You do,
Let's do it like this. Don't even trip.
With your hands?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to break you off a piece.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't even trip. Yeah. We are all about safety here at the Hotbox.
Awesome.
We're all about safety. You know what? I just forgot we was recording and I'm cutting a piece of blunt. So, while I do that, go back into what's your childhood.
Okay. So, like I said, I didn't have like the happiest, most bubbly childhood, and no one really did. So, I mean, I'm sure people did. I'm sure there's people that had perfectly happy, normal families and lives and stuff, but from who I know, a lot of people didn't get dealt those cards. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I got my half a blunt.
Half a blunt is being sparked. Go ahead, keep going.
So, this town used to be a lot more conservative. Believe it or not, it's still very conservative, but...
Believe it or not, that's very
Believe
fucking
it or not,
mad.
it used to be worse. I mean, I don't care where your political beliefs lie, and mine's leaning left. That's where I lean.
That's where I am as well.
But, no hate towards anyone as long as you don't have any hate towards me. But I find with Trump supporters, usually there's hate towards me. So I kind of take it a little personal.
And is this over the Wiccan thing?
Wiccan, me just generally being liberal. And, Wiccan and, there's Buddhist practices, there's just so many spectrums for just, being in the oneness that is being alive. Whatever that means, whatever that's worth. So, we're here, and we can't really say for sure what happens when we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
I do know I've seen some weird, what you would call spectral shit. I'd say that I've seen ghosts.
Ghosts, okay.
I'd say I've even seen fairies. Like, I wasn't even on any drugs. Believe me or not, I wasn't on any drugs.
How often do you say you've seen these things?
I used to see them a lot more, but, like I said, I started taking psych meds, so my mental health, I think a weird part about it is I think my mental health and my spirituality kind of tie together.
Mm-hmm. How so?
I feel like people have always been the way I am, which is more work as like, okay, so to say back in the day, we were like hunter-gatherers, right?
Mm-hmm.
My type of personality would be perfect for that sort of lifestyle. I could be a hunter-gatherer. I'm very primal, like I could hack up a rabbit and eat it. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
Have you ever done that?
Yes.
You've hacked up... Okay. So we've gotten to the interesting part. You've hacked up a rabbit and you've eaten it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm lit too.
Prepared rabbit.
Prepared rabbit.
Prepared
So
rabbit.
I don't want it to make it sound like that you just stabbed a rabbit and ate it.
No, you can shoot them.
Right? Well, like unprepared, like just you shoot it.
It's less messy.
Oh, okay. So
I'm a liberal, but
yeah.
I would hunt. I would, have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a gun. I don't own a gun, but I would. I could see myself owning a gun.
Do you not own a gun because of choice?
I don't own a gun because my boyfriend won't let me.
Is he leftist as well?
He is.
Nice. Where does he fall in line as far as your spiritual?
My boyfriend is Christian.
Oh, how does that work? Yeah.
He loves Jesus, and I hug trees.
And the Wiccan stuff doesn't bother him?
He's kind of a witch himself, in a way. Like, I feel like you can be Christian and a witch. Like, my boyfriend's entire family, they're very Christian, and they're very spiritual, and they have a lot of the same beliefs as me.
Mm-hmm. And you get
We're
along with them
similar.
pretty well?
What?
You get along with them pretty well?
Oh, yeah. They're
Nice.
my family, basically.
Nice.
Basically, when I was 14, my life wasn't going so good, and I was drinking a lot, and I found my boyfriend's family through one of my friends from high school, and they kind of took me in, and I lived with them from the time I was 14 till currently, and that's where, and they are very spiritual people. His mother is Native American. They're all Native American. And Native American people are very spiritual, and a lot of them do believe in Jesus and God. The Choctaws do. Choctaw Nation is very Christian leaning. They believe in the Great Spirit. They call it the Great Spirit, but it's just another word for God.
And are these your beliefs as well?
I have a complicated relationship with Jesus and God. That's what I would say. I'd say, like, I can't know for sure. I know a lot of people that have told me their experiences with Jesus Christ, and they believe that Jesus Christ is their savior, and he is there to protect them. And my boyfriend's grandmother, actually, I lived with her for a while. She is the most Christian woman I have ever met. And
yeah.
she, like, we went to Bible study every week. We're in church every other day, because she was always so involved in the church, and I was always helping her out because she was like my little lady. I love her. And, you know, like, she changed my view of Christians as a whole. Like, she's what they're supposed to be.
So do you believe in a God? You said you believe.
I have a complicated relationship with God
that's
in
fair.
the Christian sense. I have a complicated relationship with the Bible. I like God. I like Jesus in theory.
Well, let's get into, as far as your relationship with God, with your mother's relationship with God.
Yes, that's where it's kind of hard for me to talk about, because, like, we're working on our relationship right now, and we're talking more. I didn't talk to her for a long time because she was creeping me out, quite frankly.
And why is that?
Well, like, I'd go in her room and there was just some satanic shit everywhere. And I'm like, well, this is some dark shit to be surrounding yourself with. And, you know, at the time I was living in a very Christian household. I wasn't believing quite all those beliefs, but, you know, like, it kind of ingrains in you when it's, like, your everyday life, like, how it was with me. Like, I was always with this Christian lady and stuff. And I don't necessarily believe that Satanists are bad. You know, like, there's good Satanists. There's Satanists that are chill as fuck.
Having said that, what's a common misconception that you would say people have about Satanists?
I think people think they're all just sitting around killing goats and, you know, raping chicks and just having a big old party of it, sinning the fuck out of everything. And that's not true. A lot of them are chill people.
Is there any goat killing or chick raping going on?
I don't think my mother is doing anything of the sort, but she is a satanic believer, which is strange to me because growing up we were always, you know, pagan, the goddess and all that lovey hippy dippy, dance naked in the woods kind of crap. But then as I got older and as a teenager and she got more into the drugs, she got more into satanic crap, which just as a whole, her thing, and she was being... she wasn't being like a dope Satanist. She was... I was suspicious of some of the things she was doing that were really bothering me. Like, I don't believe in hurting animals. I don't believe in that.
Is that something that your mother would do?
I believe she was doing some unorthodox things to chickens, but, like, I didn't see anything. Like, I just know... I know enough to guess and put the pieces together. It's her business, really. But, like,
yeah, of course.
It's her business, but, like, I'm her kid, you know, and, like, I just felt something dark about what she was doing. So it's like, well, I don't want her to be dealing with shit she can't handle. You know what I mean? She's my mom. I still love her. Like, I don't want her to go full on to the dark side, you know, praying to old gods she doesn't have any business praying to.
Do you pray?
I don't.
No praying for you?
I mean, I guess you could say, like, I'm praying when I, like, meditate of sorts, which for me is just dozing off to space, which people say is a symptom of my mental issues, which, I don't know, that's where I say my spirituality and my mental issues tie together, because some people call it disassociating and staring off into a wall, and I call it meditating.
Have you been diagnosed with anything?
My official diagnosis is major depressive with psychotic tendencies. Fun fact.
I've been diagnosed with anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
So I understand a little bit of struggling with this not working sometimes.
Right.
What does that mean for you? What's been your experience with your mental health?
I think it's been a daily battle. Some days are better than others, you know, like, how does anyone deal with it? And I know that, like, half of America is on antidepressants right now, probably more.
Yeah.
we're all depressed. We're all, and right now especially, we're all trapped and, can't go out.
Can't do a